Hello there, I've got another book review for you. Today we are taking a look at Stars and Bones by Gareth L Powell. This is a space opera with a side of space horror in it that is very dear to my heart. And there is heavy rain outside, so if you can hear a bit of noise in the background, it's actually not my fault. So, back about the book. If you're new to this channel and you're not aware of how reviews goes here, I don't give out stars or weighted ratings or really do criticism. I talk about books from a position of love. I mostly talk about what I enjoy. So for any given book, I will talk about what I liked about it, what I would like to have seen more, and also what are my next steps. This book is a space opera with a side of horror. Set in the near future, 75 years from now, mankind is booted from the planet by this alien intelligence called the Benevolence, who fabricates these massive sentient arcs to ferry mankind in exile. That's the setup. In this fleet, the Continuance Fleet, there is a special group of people who go on scout missions called the Vanguard, who tries to scout forward the fleet to make sure that mankind does not encounter any danger. And of course it does, because without it we wouldn't really have a book. So what happens is that the Vanguard actually finds danger, and then danger finds back the Continuance Fleet. And I will not spoil the setup or the plot or anything. What I like the most about Gareth's work, which is also true for his other books that I'm reading, which is the Embers of Wars trilogy, is that he has his own very unique way of doing sentient ships, which is a trope that I enjoy. I basically found him looking for authors that were similar to Ian Banks, who's like my favorite author. And I found Gareth. And for a brief moment before actually starting to read his books, I was afraid it would be like a clone. But no, it's very unique. And the way that he portrays sentient ships and the way he does characters is very different than Ian. And it still kind of touches the same kind of tropes that I enjoy. What I like is the world building there. This idea that mankind is on a fleeting space. But mankind didn't reach that point because it was good enough to reach that point. Mankind is in exile. This is a great setup, because what usually happens is that if you have mankind in space with an arc of ships, mankind is usually on this step in the power ladder that makes mankind much more able to deal with problems than a humankind that is in exile and being placed there in arcs that they didn't build. And I think that's very intriguing. I love this setup, because I'm really tired of that genre that people love, and it's okay for people to like it. That genre that's known as mankind fuck yeah, where humans are in space kicking ass. I find it boring. I don't have problems with a story where mankind ends up in space and some butts are kicked. That's not a problem. But when that is the unique attraction of something, then it's not enough for me. And I like that this book is not that, even though butts will be kicked here as well. The main character, Erin, is a member of the Vanguard, investigating the disappearance of her sister, who's also in the Vanguard, when shit hits the fan. And it's terrifying. It actually reminded me of The Thing, and I'm really trying not to spoil it. So let's circle to another thing I loved. I love the character work, because our main character and our side character heroes, they are not your cookie cutter characters. They are not these heroic figures going against adversity because they are amazing. They are amazing because they are flawed and they doubt themselves, and sometimes they want to quit, and still they go forward because they need to. And that feels very sensible and very realistic to me. It's something I enjoy. It's not that common in space opera. Space opera, if you pick like the vast amount of space operas out there, often you have these hero characters or anti-hero characters, but you don't have characters where their flaws, their internal monologues are sounds this true as those did to me. From the department of things that I would like to see more, I really wish to see more of the side characters in their day-to-day life. I would like to see more Sam, like a talking cat deserves his own spin-off series, like Sam goes and do cosmic stuff. That's something that I wish for. Like just Gareth, just do Sam's short stories. I would also like to see more of the life in each of the arcs that make the Continuance fleet, because it reminds me so much of the culture. And I'm saying that as a praise, because the culture is so rich. The culture, I mean the series by Ian Banks, where those massive sentient ships are so unique. And the arcs felt very unique for me as well on this book. But since this is kind of a thriller in terms of pacing and scope, there is a problem that needs to be solved because the clock is ticking, and if it's not solved, it's over. You don't have enough time to enjoy the view. You don't have enough time to learn more about the arcs and how life is in each of them, because that would just break the pace. So I understand why you can't see that on this novel, but I wish the arcs would be explored more, maybe in short stories or on a future novel, because I'm aware that there will be 2 standalones, like this one and another one at least, and I hope there'll be more, because I'm really digging this universe. So basically, what I would like to see more is I would like to spend more time in the Continuance fleet, getting to know about each arc. Just give me like the gazetteer going arc to arc and having fun. And I would like to see more of the side characters. This is a book that's very focused on the main character, which is amazing. But I believe that the side characters were rich. That I don't know. I would like to see more of them. I would like to see how the policing work on the Continuance fleet. I would like to see more talking cats. That kind of stuff. What are my next steps? So, full disclosure, I'm a supporter of Gareth on Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi? Coffee? Not sure. I will say coffee. I'm a supporter, and I derive extreme value from the Discord and from the posts he makes, especially because as a newbie author, I get lots of tips. And actually, Gareth has a very good book about writing. That's second edition of that book that is revised and expanded, is about to hit the door, and I'm already gunning for it. But my next steps are reading more of his books. I need to finish the Embers of Wars trilogy. I want to get the expanded writing book. And I need to check Akak Makak, which sounds delightful because I'm into pulpy stuff, and that sounded very pulpy to me in the best kind of homage, because I really like those stories. Another point going forward, which is I think it's delightful, is that Gareth is engaged to another author who's also doing science fiction, and she's a wonderful person as well, and I'm intrigued to get her books. I couldn't find them in the bookshops here, so I'll probably just grab a digital copy for my Kobo. I wanted to grab paper copies because I hope to get autographs for those books at some convention in the future, probably Chimera. So my next steps, exploring more of his bibliography, checking out Diane's books because they have the most amazing names and covers and blurbs, and I want to see what it is all about. And also try to understand what I love about those books and how I can use similar tropes in my own writing. That's basically where I am. Trying, because right now I'm mostly writing fantasy, but when I do short stories, most of my short stories are science fiction, and I wondered how I can create, like, use those tropes from space opera in short stories. And that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, yada yada, if you want to see more about bookish things and also my own creative writing journey. If you have any comments on Stars and Bones or any other Gareth's book, or if you want to recommend me space opera with sentient ships, just leave a comment. I'm eager to add more books to my never-ending TBR. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.